There's our audience.
A library is like an island in the middle of a vast sea of ignorance. This Lemony Snicket quote may be truer now than when it was first penned. The purpose of this speech is to persuade you all to support and advocate for the continued availability of public libraries. I'm a credible source on this topic because I have frequented libraries throughout my lifetime and have done in-depth research into the impact public libraries have on communities and the need for continued funding. While public libraries have been building blocks of our communities for centuries, recent executive orders and budget cuts have threatened their position in society. Without public libraries, communities will lose vital resources and access to safe, free public spaces. Today, I will discuss current threats to funding and access to public libraries, solutions to these threats, the essential role public libraries play in our communities, and what you can do today to keep libraries alive and well. Let's dive in. According to the American Library Association, public libraries receive most of their funding through the Institute of Museum and Library Services, or IMLS. The IMLS distributes funds to libraries through state grants. Another portion of funding for public libraries comes from the Innovative Approaches to Literacy Grant Program, which supports public libraries and nonprofit literacy programs for young children. Both the IMLS and the Innovative Approaches to Literacy grant programs are on the chopping block and at risk of being completely defunded. President Trump signed an executive order in March of this year that would result in significant cuts to the IMLS, an order that has been partially and temporarily blocked through federal court motions. Defunding the IMLS would eliminate many library-based programs, including bookmobiles, literacy programs, talking books, and Braille library services, among others. The Giving Compass published an article in July of 2025 outlining the budget cuts the current administration has proposed for fiscal year 2026. This budget would cut about $194 million from the Comprehensive Literacy State Development Grants and defund the Innovative Approaches to Literacy Grant Program. As a result of budget cuts already imposed, the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities reports over 1,200 competitive IMLS grants have been canceled already, effectively eliminating over 90% of competitive IMLS grants. Because of this, many libraries and museums across the nation have received notices of termination already. And this is even without the full impact of the executive order and budget cuts. So now that you have an understanding of the issue at hand, I'm sure you're wondering how the future of public libraries can be protected. Fortunately, it is a very clear and rather obvious solution to the issue of erasing public libraries: legislation. First and foremost, President Trump's executive order eliminating the IMLS must be reversed. Second, legislation protecting the vital resources that public libraries provide must be adopted nationwide. Let me paint a picture for you all. It's 2005 in Louisiana. Hurricane Katrina just destroyed your community and claimed the lives of people you love. You have nowhere to go, you're still waiting on aid to arrive, and you have no way to communicate with the outside world. Where do you turn? In Andreas Varheim's literature analysis titled Public Libraries, Community Resilience, and Social Capital, he outlines the vital role public libraries played during Hurricane Katrina and other natural disasters. In his essay, Varheim writes that after Hurricane Katrina hit, quote, libraries provided information and information infrastructure, gave shelter, provided physical aid, cared for community members in need, worked with relief organizations, and cleaned up the damage after the storms. He explained that through his research into the impact of public libraries on the community, he found that during disasters, public libraries serve as community meeting places, hubs for community information, and a safe space for people in the community to share their stories with others impacted by the disaster. Public libraries don't only provide community and resources during natural disasters, though. As Jennifer Howard wrote in her article titled The Complicated Role of the Modern Public Library, quote, in a country riven by racial, ethnic, political, and socioeconomic divides, libraries still welcome everyone. Every time I visit my public library, I'm greeted by a sign that reads, You're welcome here, in many different languages. Libraries remain one of the only safe, free public spaces where everyone is welcome. Libraries provide free Wi-Fi, a welcoming environment, entertainment, and a comfortable space for individuals experiencing homelessness. They provide a safe and constructive space for youth to go after school or during school breaks. They provide a myriad of services, including job skills training, food access, language courses, refugee services, free passes to places like museums and zoos, and literacy programs. The Denver Public Library System alone provides services including reentry services for formerly incarcerated individuals, older adult services, social services, community assistance resources, and a wide variety of classes and clubs that help individuals connect with community, among other things. And of course, this is all in addition to access to books, computers, music, news, and other media that public libraries provide. Due to their wide range of services and attitude of inclusivity, libraries have a unique ability to build trust within marginalized communities. In a separate study conducted by Varheim and colleagues, quote, public libraries seem the most important factor in creating generalized trust in the OECD area, even more so than efficient/impartial public institutions. Howard speaks to this in her article as well, stating that, quote, along with nurses and firefighters, librarians are among the few groups and institutions Americans still trust. Now that you understand how vital public libraries are in our communities, let me tell you what you can do to ensure we maintain access to these spaces. First, go to your local library and get a library card. Funders like numbers. If we can prove without a shadow of a doubt that public libraries are important to American people, funders are more likely to fund them. Second, register to vote. You can do this while you're at the library getting your library card. We need clear federal legislation that ensures the continued access to free public libraries. And to get that, we need to vote for individuals who will advocate for this and for bills that support public libraries. As I wrap up, let's recap what I've gone over today. I've discussed current threats to funding and access to public libraries, solutions to these threats, the essential role public libraries play in our communities, and what you can do today to keep public libraries alive and well. We all must take action to protect public libraries because they play a critical role in our communities and they're at risk of being defunded. And before I end, I want to remind you all that you can do anything. Take a look, it's in a book at your public library.